Hello and greetings to wherever you are in the world. Hopefully, all of you are staying safe, taking good care of yourself and the people around you. And welcome to Taylor's Digital Open Day. My name is Mikal, second year of mechanical engineering in Taylor's University. And the people joining me today are threefold. We have Dr. Goh Si Kwong, the head of Taylor's Business School, Management and Marketing. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm doing fine. Thanks.
All right. And also we have Dina, fellow alumni member of Taylor's University, graduated in 2019. Hi, Dina. How's it going?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks.
Hey, nice to see you again, by the way. And finally, my good friend from International Business and Marketing. And by the way, my fellow Star Education Fund scholar as well, Mr. Dylan Liao. How's it going, man?
Everything is going fine. It is 10 a.m. in the morning. I'm a little bit sleepy, but everything's good. How about you?
I could be better, but I didn't get much sleep last night, so probably the same as you for all you know. But yeah, I'm great. I'm doing great. Thanks. Okay, alrighty. Now the topic of discussion for today: finding the right fit, and following the theme of this year's Digital Open Day, which is what's your game plan? And to create that game plan, choosing the right university is proven to be, this very pivotal chapter in this whole storybook we've got going on. So, obviously it's easier said than done, especially considering all the factors that make a good university, good in the first place. But of course, a good university is, it's easier said than done, especially considering all the factors and all that. So, given the fact that it's subjective, some of you watching right now might depend a lot on the first impression of the campus, the reputation of the university itself, and the list goes on. So hopefully this discussion can give all of you a little bit of an insight, on how to go about your game plan, because I believe all four of us have been through that, transitioning from high school to pre-uni to university and so on. And I've been in that pickle myself many times. So me myself, actually, I'm actually looking forward to hearing your views on this. So without further ado, if you don't mind, Dr. Go, I would like to start with you. Of course, obtain your doctorate from the University of Newcastle, master's degree from the University of Adelaide, and on top of that, 14 years in tertiary education. So if you don't mind me asking, as an experienced figure in the academic world, how would you measure that good standing of university? How would you know whether a university is good or not? From an academic point of view, that is.
All right. Thanks, Mikhail, for the question. I think just like what you have highlighted just now, it's very much about the reputation means a lot in the academic world. So when it comes to reputation, a lot of even academics, we ourselves, we look at ranking as a way to determine or help us to determine what's the reputation of the university or the institution. So ranking actually plays a very important role where we want to decide whether the university is actually a good place where we want to invest our future. Well, that brings it back to really long time ago. If I'm in the academia for 14 years, it's as good as 20 years ago when I first selected my university and so forth. So another very crucial or very interesting bit when I speak with my students, a lot of them would actually highlight the campus itself is one of the good indication of how that ranking or also the standing of that university. Now, when we look at the campus itself, we're talking about the facilities that they have and most importantly, the university life. But if you ask me more deeper, it is, from a real academic perspective, I would like to talk about two perspectives here about teaching pedagogies or what we call the teaching methods that the university or the program employs, or the second thing, which is about the ability or opportunity that you have to provide skill enhancement for the students. So the first one that we talk about teaching pedagogy or the method, are we looking at experiential mode that we are going into? Are the syllabus up to date? Do you have up to very current kind of topics and current kind of majors in the program? And in terms of skills enhancement, are there opportunities provided for students to go for competition, to go for global exposure, real world learning, and a lot of practicing that innovation and creativity behind it? So with all this combination, and if that university has it, I think that would be a good standing university.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. I know before I entered Taylor's University, I know the campus was a really great deal for me. So looking at the campus definitely was a factor for me. What about you, Dina, actually? Uh, what defines a good university for you? As in, what do you look for in a university? I mean, obviously, you went for Taylor's University at the end of the day, but what was going through your head like 4 years ago before you entered uni?
Right. So before I entered, I was actually quite lost. I didn't know what to do because being, a recent SDM leaver, I didn't know much about anything actually. So my strategy at the time was to figure out what I wanted to do first and where I wanted to do it, right? So my strategy was to just go to all universities open days and to see what I liked about it. But after visiting numerous universities, I think I came to a conclusion, which is the same as Dr. Go actually, which is the education, the quality of education,
Yep.
the specialization they have in that industry as well, the campus life. The campus in Taylor's was very, very was like a big thing for me. I was like,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah, I
right?
agree. Yeah.
I came in over goose, and that was great. And then other than that, I think it was besides academic, I could really see myself grow over there because there was a lot more things that was offered aside from academics as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was
Uh,
my thought process at the time.
yeah, absolutely. First impressions of the campus.
My first impression was that it was big. Like during my even during my open day, I got lost. I got lost when they told me to go to a certain room for my orientation. So I just wandered around, but the people in Taylor's, because they have the people who do the orientation, like a specific group, right?
Yep.
They were very, very kind. They
Yeah.
like
The orientation
helped us.
leaders. Yeah.
Yeah, orientation leaders. Yeah, that's what they're called. They were really kind. They had like really nice games and everything. And like, after a while, yeah, I just got used to it. I got used to seeing ducks just passing by while I'm on the
Yeah.
way to eat or something.
Yeah, I remember my first impression of the campus back then. When I saw like pictures of Taylor's University, I saw like this big lake in front of everything, and I was like, oh my god, like I can just imagine myself, reading a book in front of that lake at like 6 p.m. Before it gets dark. But I haven't done that yet. I should probably try that.
You should.
But
You should.
yeah, I mean, I heard it's really like therapeutic and it's peaceful. Yeah,
Yes, you should try it out.
yeah, I should try it out one day actually. Yeah, yeah. Mr. Dylan, yeah, I would like to ask you actually. As a matter of fact, actually, me and Dylan are actually friends. We met 2 years ago at the same scholarship interview, but I don't think I've asked you this question before. So, while this can bring a benefit to the people watching today, this could also be my chance to get to know you a little bit more and your outstanding reputation. Because rumor has it that you're this big shot in Taylor's University. So if you remember correctly, we had that form that we had to fill up in our scholarship interview. What made you tick that box that said Taylor's University on it? What did it for you?
Right. Okay. That's a very interesting question. Like, because for our scholarship, what we had to do is we had to pick several universities, and I actually put Taylor's on the top of my list. One being that, from what I knew of the university has a more hands-on approach. It provides opportunities. And back in my foundation year, I was in a different university, and what they really did was focus on academics, which was, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's good, but for me, I just wanted to be in an environment where there were more opportunities provided, meaning that you could go for more competitions, you could go overseas and credit transfer back. And yeah, Taylor's Business School just seemed like a really dynamic place for me to be in, being near to the city, and the opportunities offered were amazing. So that's why I put Taylor's on the top of my list, and I'm here.
First impression of the campus.
Oh wow. First impression of the campus. Right. So okay. This is a very interesting topic, but when I was here for my scholarship interview, when I was done, I left the office block and I came out. And there's this lake in the middle of the campus. So I noticed that all students were out from their blocks and just watching the lake. So I got really confused because there were like security guards stationed beside the lake. So I asked what was going on from a fellow student, and apparently the student said that someone posted on Facebook saying that if the post received 1,000 likes, he would swim across the lake. So it was kind of interesting to see an occasion like that happen. And I knew that this type of interesting campus lifestyle would be a good fit for me, knowing how dynamic and happening it was.
I was so sad I didn't get to experience that like live. I think your interview is like somewhat earlier than me. I think, if I remember correctly. I can't remember exactly,
I assume so.
yeah, but yeah. Before I proceed, actually, to those of you who just joined us, welcome to our digital open day. We're talking about finding the right fit, finding the right university, basically. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. All right, so let's talk a little bit about our current situation here, with COVID and everything. And of course, the movement control order, right? The MCO has been around for quite some time now. And I think all of us have adjusted quite a bit over the last couple of months. Well, thinking about it, a year actually. So, Dr. Go, if I may ask you, MCO, right? How did that affect classes very much in terms of conducting them and teaching? Did your teaching style change at all? I mean, from an academic point of view, what did MCO really did to you?
Actually, from the academic point of view, one very, very, very important point is we talk about how do we engage and interact with people when they are not physically in front of us, face to face. In fact, for us, we were quite ready in terms of moving to online, when MCO hit us. In fact, before MCO came, we have already declared to our students that we are moving online 1 week earlier than
Yep.
MCO. So what happens, because we have pre-recorded videos, high quality pre-recorded videos standby ready. We use a lot of other platforms. I mean, our students will know that we use Teams, we use Zoom, and we even have lecturers using, let's say, Facebook Live to conduct their classes, or maybe using YouTube to conduct their classes. And all these platform we have been training our colleagues to use prior to the MCO. So when MCO hit us, we are able to shift quite smoothly to the online platform. And the Times is a Moodle platform that we have, that we disseminate information, and where assessments questions are released, and also where students submit their assignment. So we also have all these platform ready, and we are, back then we were ready to interact with students, and right now also we are still doing very much the same. And in fact, we are thinking about how to enhance it even better for future students. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. And speaking of COVID, actually, Dina, would like to hear from you as well. Obviously, graduated at the end of 2019, Bachelor of Mass Communication, PR, and Event Management, if I'm correct. Took Performing Arts and French as your electives. I mean, that's something. I'm just going to put my foot down for a bit, and that's something. And congratulations, by the way. But how was your journey like in Taylor's back then? I mean, obviously, you were in that period where, before COVID happened and before all of this. So how was life outside of Mass Comm at that time? Did you join any clubs, societies, stuff like that?
I did. Well, actually, tying back to MCO, I think even when I was in uni, there was already a program in Taylor's where we would have at least a few classes online each subject. So that was done already pre-MCO for years, actually. But yes, as my life as a student pre-pandemic in the university, I had a good time. I joined a lot of clubs actually while I was in Taylor's, and that led me to a lot of opportunities that I'm really grateful to have at the end of the day as well.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that you were in CSI, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I was in CSI. CSI is Community Service Initiative for volunteering. I was also in Global Ambassadors and SPART and Toastmaster, if I'm not mistaken. So there's a lot of clubs and societies that Taylor's offers that you can join. In fact, when I first came to uni during the open day, they had this club and society day, and I came in and joined like 10 of the clubs because I just wanted to try everything. But eventually I couldn't commit to all 10 and narrowed it down to the few that I really liked. And that's what's great about what I could do at the time, is that I could join whenever, and they wouldn't kick me out of the club and society just because I don't want to be there.
Yeah, it sounds like you've done a lot of stuff back then. I mean, mind venturing like the most memorable moment, one sticks out of your mind.
Most memorable in Taylor's?
Yes.
Well, in terms of, I had a lot of opportunities throughout my academic and also curricular, right? Clubs and societies. Clubs and societies, I got to have a lot of opportunities, as I said before, leading events or hosting events or even participating or just joining to watch or be in it. But in terms of academics, I have a moment that sticks out in mind in Taylor's. It was when I had a class called Creative and Critical Thinking Skills.
Oh.
And this was a core subject. And so one of our assignments was to basically build a boat and make sure that it floats, and not a boat, like a plastic boat, and make sure it floats, and you have to race it with your friends in the lake. So everybody had to just like make their own plastic boats, and mine's balik lah, but like it was really fun.
Oh, this is actually the first time I'm hearing that. Why did I do that?
Yeah, it was really fun. They had like the egg dropping project beforehand. Yeah.
I mean, all I can remember from my first semester was like I built this tower. I mean, I'm in engineering school, of course, so they challenged each group to like build this tower out of, was it chopsticks, and who has the highest tower and the most stable tower wins. So I remember my tower was like this long, to be honest with you. But yeah, I bet he lost that one. But yeah. And as for you, Dylan, I've seen you involved in quite a number of things since you joined Taylor's. I mean, I think we joined Taylor's at the same time. I think it was August 2019, if I'm correct. I think you've joined a few competitions, if I'm right. What competition was that, and what else are you involved in at the moment?
Right. So I was involved in the HSBC business case competition in Malaysia last year. Yeah.
Okay.
So what that was about? So basically, I was privileged enough to join the competition as a first year student, and what we had to do is we were given business case scenarios, and we would have to propose proposals for these real time business executives, and we have to give out solutions to issues at hand. So what my team and I we were really lucky to have got third place, and we were really happy to have done so because we couldn't have made it there without the guidance from our mentors. Dr. Go being one of them, and another lecturer being Dr. Nulida. Without the help of the both of them, I don't think that we would have made it very far.
I've not experienced this before actually, but have you experienced an award ceremony in university before?
Right. I was also invited to represent Taylor's in a brand award ceremony. It was called the Putra 50th brand anniversary, if I'm not wrong. So for that year, the university wanted to do something a little bit more special, so they invited a few students over to attend with them. So I got the opportunity to go on stage and help Taylor's receive their award, and also I had the privilege of sitting beside Brandon Ho, a pretty famous YouTuber and also alumni of Taylor's University. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you, by the way. Before I proceed, to those of you who have just joined us, welcome to our Digital Open Day. Currently, we are talking about finding the right fit and finding the right university, and basically formulating your game plan. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. Okay, let's talk about a little bit about TCF. Actually, Taylor's curricular framework. We also have Taylor Sphere, Marika Makerspace, and the life skills module actually. And only Taylor's University has these. So Dina, if I may, you've been in the workforce for about a year now, and you've obviously had a lot of internship experience. These programs that Taylor's provides, how did that help you or shape you in your career thus far, and how did those programs lead you to a number of internship opportunities, Dina? Because I remember you were telling me the other day that you've went through a couple of phases in your life where you've had a lot of internships and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I had two internships, and that was partly because, um, well, it was largely because I just wanted to try new things. And I think that's what, as you mentioned, all these programs that tailors offer, they really help you to not be scared to venture into things that you're interested in. So that's
Yeah.
one. And also the fact that you really do have a lot of opportunities with tailors because they're constantly doing events, doing things, so just being able to join different groups, being able to lead different events, like I said previously, I gained a lot of confidence. I think that was the biggest change that I noticed from when I finished high school, with I was very, very, what's the word for it? Straight laced. I was very, let's go one way. But
Yeah.
with tailors, it sort of made me more comfortable with my own choices and be able to try different things as well.
It broadened everything.
It
Yeah.
broadened everything. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And um, your internship opportunities, how many internships did you go through?
I
Actually?
did too. Yeah, but
Oh,
the experiences that I had, I could put on my resume at the end of the day, and that really helped.
right.
Yeah.
Thank you, by the way. And finally, Dr. Go, I was just wondering regarding e-learning, right? Obviously, as time passes by, online learning is getting more and more sophisticated, and it's going to take a great deal of getting used to things and stuff like that. So, sir, what is your take on e-learning for future generations to come? I remember me back in high school, e-learning was a thing, but I never really thought e-learning would be this solid foundation in my education later on. So, do you think it's just a phase, or do you think it's going to remain like embedded as a solid rock in our education, sir?
Yeah, that's a really, really good question, Mikhail. I really think that e-learning is here to stay for a bit longer right now. This comes from a reflection of what actually happened last year. And, we started with the year we're having face-to-face in-class learning, and then suddenly we went on MCO, and then we were doing classes online. And then halfway through, then we were back on campus again, having some face-to-face classes. But less than 2 months subsequently, we went back to online again. So I think one of the greatest take here is students or maybe human beings are very, very adaptable. They can adapt to the environment. They learn really, really well. In fact, just to share also, some of my entrepreneurship programs that I have in the business school, we were actually doing coaching, mentoring, even with industry people, with our students online. And we have all the tools for them to do the business canvassing, for them to actually discuss the challenges that they're facing and help them how to pivot across all these challenges. So, and I felt that slowly people are sort of like buying into the idea or actually getting used to the idea of doing things online or discussing a lot of difficult questions online. And I do foresee this is going to stay for quite a long time because now we have or we have higher level of adoption compared to previously. And next that I would like to say is probably what we are going to see in the future is going to be a hybrid mode where we have online classes and also offline support where students come back to the campus. And you see, campus sometimes there are a lot of other activities going on rather than just learning or the subject matter itself, like what Dina and also Dylan shared. You have all those competitions, you have all those club society, extracurriculars going on, and those actually are things that could actually bring value to students. And therefore, I see there's a very, very good opportunity to propose a hybrid model for future students or future learners.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as a student, you hear a lot of your friends say, "Oh my God, is online learning gonna stick, or is it just a phase?" And I get that a lot. So, thank you, sir, for that. That was really insightful. I think many people are asking the same question. So me myself, I don't even know the answer. I don't know how to answer to them. So yeah, thank you for that. Okay then. I believe it's time for me to open the floor to questions. Actually, for those of you who just joined, welcome to Digital Open Day. We are talking about finding the right fit, finding the right university, basically. And I've just opened the floor to questions. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. You can even direct the question specifically to one of us. We're absolutely fine with that. Okay. While we wait for questions, Dr. Go, if you don't mind me asking, um, I have a couple of friends, right, that is so hesitant to join university like now. Like let's say now it's the month of March, and Taylor's has a March intake. So I have a few friends that keeps giving me the same reply, and that reply is, "Oh, I don't want to join now because everything's online now. Everything is even if it's hybrid, it's not enjoyable. I don't want to spend my first year of university like this." And obviously, I don't know how it feels because during my first year in university, everything was fine. But do you think that they're cutting themselves short here? Do you have any advice to these people who are asking this question?
I Well, actually, I wanted to say before you ask me this question, the statement that you make about the campus and your friends and how they see virtual and also versus um, the face-to-face class. Probably, I might also say some of you might really miss university after not being back to the uni for about
I
a
know I
year.
do, sir.
The legs, the duck, and so on. Definitely, yes. And for those friends of yours who have yet to join university or they are planning or thinking whether they want to join the university, um, I think it's very much about how ready are they and how much or how willing are they to take up the challenge. Because I think another thing that really taught me, or that I've really experienced last year, is about having the ability to change and having that kind of mindset. People say I don't want to do online, but doesn't mean that online is not beneficial. Online is still very beneficial.
Correct.
We have a lot of very insightful discussion. I had me personally, I had a lot of interactive sessions with my students. Even I'm supervising masters and PhD students online right now, and they're doing
Right.
fantastically well. Competition students also, we are supervising and mentoring online. So we have a very good ecosystem set up. So I think one thing that they might really want to check is whichever institution that they're going to or your friends are going to, do they have a proper ecosystem to support their learning? Because having that to support their learning, it ease their transition into online education or into university life plus online education for their very first year.
Yeah, yeah. So if you were to give a short answer to a student that just straight up ask you, sir, what do you think I should do? Should I wait a little while? Should I join in the March intake? What would be your short and sweet answer to that question, sir?
Short and sweet. I think it's going to be very difficult to say short and sweet because this same question came to me last year March when students were saying that, oh, now Taylor's is going online. We should stop our semester for one semester and then we come back when the COVID is over. The thing is, we do not know when COVID will be over. So if you prolong and you have nothing to do at home, then very much how are you growing yourself when your peers at the same age are actually progressing with their
Correct.
education? Yep. So
Yeah.
that's my short answer. I mean, take the challenge and get started. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's absolutely right. Thank you so much for that, sir. Uh, I believe we have a question from the floor, actually, from Al Hussein. And I believe this question, I can direct it to Dylan, actually. Can you please talk about how you choose an accommodation? How it affected your experience in Taylor's?
Right. So, talking about accommodation, so one good thing about Taylor's is that we have a variety of options that you can choose for. I think two main factors would be convenience and the price range. So, we have accommodations nearby, in and out of campus. You can range from 400 ringgit a month to maybe even the high 2000s. It all depends on yourself. So, if you live in the, let's say, the housing area nearest to near the tailors, you can get a room easily for like a 400 to 500 ringgit. That's possible. Or if you want something a little bit better, you can always go. We have nearby condos that have rooms for around 700 to 1,000, 1,500. All depends on you. And the great thing about living nearby the campus is that you can access. We even have a apartment in the campus itself. So what's really good about staying nearby campus is that we have a nearby BRT station. So all it just takes is a 15-minute walk. You can get there, take public transport, and it's really convenient. So I think it all comes down to everybody's like personal range, and it all comes down to whether or not you have the budget and also what you prefer. You could always opt to stay with friends or get your own room, go through orientation, make some friends, then live together. There are a lot of factors for this, and I think that you can. There's a lot of time that you can put in to do some research, and I think that it'll be really beneficial.
Yep, yep. You stayed on campus, if I'm right.
I did not stay on campus.
But you stayed nearby campus, right? Like a 5 minute walk away, if I'm not mistaken.
I stayed at a apartment building nearby to the nearest BRT station. So all I did was
Ah.
take a 15-minute walk to class every day. But recently I moved to this housing area near Taylor. So my rent is pretty affordable and it's pretty near the campus. So couldn't ask for more.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Dylan. By the way, we have another question actually from Anika Ayesha. I apologize if I pronounced that wrong, but the question is, how is Taylor's keeping up with engaging students in online classes? What are the pros and cons of online classes? I believe Dr. Go, if you can get on this question.
Yep, yep. I think probably I can share in a very general view how or what are the things that we have done to engage with students. So, like I said, we have live lectures, we have pre-recorded lectures shared with students. Now, that is very much a knowledge dissemination, but we also use a variety of tools in our times and also in other platforms to, for example, having breakout and then having students to do a mind map, doing a lot of discussion, and with the lecturers or the tutors there to provide you with feedback when you present your answers up. So the engagement is it varies because some subjects you will have more knowledge delivery and hence the system still follows very much like previously where the classes are going on. After that then we have exercises, questions, but we modified some of the questions and discussions into more virtual based so that students don't actually lose out in terms of having that interaction with students, interaction with other students, and also interaction with the tutors and lecturers. So we have all that in store. And in terms of pro and cons, I think pro and cons probably we can all Google online. But if you ask me, is how ready is the person being independent? Because online learning, sometimes you have a lot of other things distracting you, Like, for
Yeah,
example, you can
yeah.
have the seminar here right now. Your next tab is a YouTube video, or maybe another tab is your game going on. I can
Yep.
see Dylan smiling there right now. So that probably is how much under where you are not in a control of your lecturer or tutor, because we can't see you face to face in the sense that if you are in a class, you are trying to play your mobile phone, I can sort of like put you on hold or check with you what is happening. But if online class, I think being independent itself, you have to ensure that you really go through the classes and follow the discussion, and that will actually brings the same benefit as you are in my class physically. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that this pros and cons of online classes is more of a mentality thing. I believe if you shift your mind appropriately, you will be able to shift to online classes effectively, and it shouldn't stop you from getting those high grades as well. So yeah, I totally agree with that, Dr. Go. Thank you very much. We have another question. It's from an anonymous person. Uh, is the credibility of the lecturer important as well? If yes, how do we get info on Taylor's lecturers? Dr. Go?
Very, 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 very good question. Actually, in fact, this is one of the things that relates to my first question about good academic standing of a university or institution.
Mm.
I always find it very, I wouldn't say fishy, but in the sense that if I go to one particular university and I do not know who are their academics in that university, I have a big question mark and doubt whether who are the people behind the scene or who are the people who are actually conducting their classes. So I really think this question is really, really good. And for tailors, how do you actually find? You can Google any of our profile online. In
Mm.
fact, we have two databases that show. One is just a simple staff listing. Another is our own curriculum vitae, our CV is actually posted online. All the lecturers in the business school or all the lecturers in Taylor's University, and you can see in terms of their education background, their admin posts, their research, the research output that they have done, the kind of seminars or webinars that they have conducted, the trainings that they have conducted. We are very, very transparent on this because we know that having the profile in the website actually gives public a better information when they make their decision whether they want to join Taylor's or not
Correct.
to join Taylor's.
Yep.
And also for research students who want to conduct research, they could actually come to the portal or the website to see who are the researchers available. Yeah.
Right. Absolutely right. I'm actually interested to hear from Dina about this. Actually, Dina, do you think the credibility of the lecturer is important to you back then when you were applying for university? Oh, I believe she has disconnected. I apologize for that. Actually, hopefully she'll join back in a few minutes. But we have actually another question from Fatini. Do tailors offer any scholarship? If yes, could you explain about the scholarship? I believe Dr. Go, you can give a little bit of insight on this.
Definitely, yes, we have scholarship available and we have various type of scholarship as well. So for more information about scholarship, it would be good that you go to our online and you can Google and you can chat with our online agent. They will be able to provide you with more specific scholarship information because the scholarship is very much given based on your profile, your background, your academic results. So you may suit different kind of scholarship. So the best is to discuss with our agents or our life counselor.
Right. Dylan, I believe you have a little bit of scholarship experience, don't you? So, could you walk us through what was that process of scholarship application to enter university? It might give the people watching a little bit of encouragement.
Right. I think what you mean is more of like what would give you a better standing on the possibility of getting a scholarship. Is that right?
Uh, Speaking of different scholarships that Taylor's offers, I believe the scholarship that you obtained is not that obvious or not that spottable in the Taylor's website. So this could be a hidden opportunity for the people out there. So if you could just explain what was your process, what scholarship is this, and how did you apply for it in the first place? How did you get to know about it in the first place?
Right. So generally, I think in Taylor's we have two types of scholarships. We have the internal and external scholarships. So my scholarship was an external one, the same as Mikal. So we are scholars under the Star Scholar Program, and I think there are several others. We have Sinchu, YTL, all these other brands, but I won't delve too much into that. I think for internals, if I'm not wrong, we have a scholarships based on merit, based on academic performances, based on your extracurriculars. So if you think that you are an individual with reasonable academics and you stand out in extracurriculars, you could always apply. I'm pretty sure Taylor's as an institution is very open-minded and they see capabilities in people with potential. So I think I think if you have the potential, Taylor's will probably see it in you.
Yeah. I truly believe actually Taylor's has a big and quite a wide range of scholarships for you to apply for. So go for the scholarships. I really encourage that. And you can even try for the Star Education Fund scholarship as well. Similar to me and Dylan, you might get a really good opportunity from there. Yeah, so I believe we've covered quite a number of questions already, actually. If you don't mind me, thank you so much for your time, Dr. Go. An absolute honor and pleasure to hear about your experience. And thank you as well to Dina and Dylan for sharing bits and pieces about your life in Taylor's University. I believe that, students who are going through this pivotal point in their lives, where everything is crucial, every decision they make, they think it's going to be really important for the future, and hearing from people with first-hand experience like you guys, I think it's really priceless for them. So thank you so much once again, by the way. And to all of you watching at home, thank you so much for tuning in. And hopefully today will give you that small boost in creating your game plan and to hopefully find the right fit. And to all of you watching from YouTube or Facebook Live, you can head over to the Taylor's Digital Open Day website to get the full experience. There's going to be a full lineup of curated videos to help you formulate your game plan. And to find out more about TCF, Taylor's Curricular Framework, Taylor Sphere, Marika Makerspace, the Life Skills module, and more, you can head over to the Taylor's University website to find out more in detail. Until next time, from all of us here at Taylor's University, take care, stay safe, and hopefully to see you on campus. I've been Mikal Maslan. Bye for now.